Hey team, my name's Amber Styles-Emberson and I'm a Ruby ambassador, and I wanted to share with you guys a shift that I had in my life, which happened right after I started my very first corporate job. My whole life, my family has been a family of travelers, but we've always gone places in vehicles. We've traveled the whole United States, we've taken road trips, we've gone all over the country, but it was always in the back of my parents' Suburban. And I had this block in my head about flying. I was terrified at the thought of getting on an airplane. I literally, like, the thought of it made me want to have a panic attack. And when I took my first job, I worked for the state of Arkansas, had an amazing boss who told me I was going to be over this project and it was going to require me to fly to New York City. And I froze, and she saw the fear on my face and basically told me that if I did not get on that plane, then that was my job. And so I had an ultimatum. Y'all, I was so terrified. I was praying through it, went to the doctor, got a prescription for some Xanax, and I was like, I'm going to take this. And those of you guys on my team who are watching this, you're probably like, she doesn't take pills. Oh my gosh, I can't swallow pills. So I'm thinking, how am I going to get to the airport, crush this baby up, put it in some yogurt, and, and take it. And, my coworkers are going to be there, and so, it's going to be this big thing. So anyways, I was praying through it and thought, you know what, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So I had a dear friend who got on the flight with me, one of my coworkers, and he had flown for years, and he walked me through everything that was going on. And every time there was a pop, every time there was a noise in the plane, I would ask him, what is that, what is that, what is that? And this was before we even took off the ground. And so we're sitting there on the runway, and he's like, okay, we're fixing to take off. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, and I'm like hyperventilating, breathing. People are probably like, what is wrong with this girl? But those of you guys who have a fear of flying, you feel like you're about to die. And so get up in the air, and he's like, it's sunrise. And he said, oh, Amber, open your eyes. It's so pretty. You've got to see this. And I was like, nope, I'm good. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, And we kind of plateau off there in the sky, and he's like, well, that's it. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, that's it. We're cruising altitude. That's all. And I was like, doesn't even feel like we're moving. He's like, yeah, this is flying. And once we landed on that first leg of that flight, I felt like I could do anything. It was amazing. It was like I can do anything at this point in my life. We had our next flight from Memphis to New York, and it was the same thing. Great flight, great day for flying. There was no storms, thankfully. But that next year, y'all, I went on to fly 15,000 miles by myself in most cases. And then subsequent years, I've flown more and more and more. I've got status with the airlines, whatever that means. All of that to say, y'all, sometimes the biggest fears that we have are in our heads. I know what can happen when I get on an airplane, but I let that fear of what could happen versus the likelihood of it happening actually get in my head and disable me from taking a step that could further my career. I have thanked my former boss, I don't know how many times. Every time I get on an airplane, I took a new job that required me to fly more when I first took it. And I just cannot be grateful enough that she pushed me into getting on that plane, because it's the same thing with our business. Sometimes we're afraid of what we don't know. What are those people going to say when I reach out to them if they say no? And that fear disables us. Another thing that I just had to wrap my mind around, I said I covered it all in prayer. I put scripture all over my computer at work, and every day I went in there and I was working on this project knowing I was counting down the days to get on that airplane. I would read it. I would read those scriptures. It was a reminder to me that the Lord has a purpose for my life. The reason that I'm getting on this plane is a purpose and a reason that I'm supposed to fulfill. I'm going to meet somebody, something's going to happen to me on that plane that I'm supposed to fulfill. So think about the things that are holding you back and don't let them hold you back anymore. And by the way, I didn't have to take that Xanax. I was able to get on that plane and I was just fine. I did hyperventilate a little bit, but I was just fine. So anyways, I hope that helps somebody out there today. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.